Yes, people, welcome back to AFTV. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Live. Myself and Curtis. We had to do. Listen, of course, it's 7 p.m. normally. It is, but the news broke quite quickly about Gabriel Magalhães about how long he's going to be out. So we came on live 30 minutes earlier to discuss it with you guys, with the community. Get all you guys' thoughts and feelings. Are people worried now? We'll talk about City and then they're going to be in the title race. Are you worried now that we've got players out? We're going to discuss obviously the North London derby a little bit, the severity of the injury, how important Gabriel is to the team, all these things, as well as many updates. You might have seen me constantly breaking news today on AFTV, constantly doing videos for Nwaneri, Jesus, videos on Duran Timber, Gabriel Magalhães as well, but we'll discuss it in a bit more detail. There's a lot to talk through. We have an hour, of course. I also want to quickly highlight as well tonight. I'm very tired right now. People have had some late nights, but tonight Jamaica take on Curacao at home. I'll be on DR Sports doing a watch along live. Curtis, they actually asked me to ask you, but it's a late one. It's 1 a.m. You might not be.
What studio or on or from?
Do you think me? You think you ask you to go to the studio at 1 a.m.? Nah, we're gonna be online. We've got the link set up. I got the link. I should have spoke to you off camera, but yeah, if you are up late tonight, I'll send you over the link. But we've got a few people coming on to do the watch along to Jamaica. Obviously, last time was drinking Ray and Nephew at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I remember.
Please don't drink. But then we had Laurie kicking off at the comments. We had Express. It was a madness. So this is the big one. If we have to win to qualify for the World Cup, so I'm going to be up watching it. We're going to be live on DR Sports. Quick updates before we get into the main news, because I think it's the main thing we've got to talk about. I went bowling league yesterday. Right. Some backstory. I don't know if they're going to mention this in Forever Arsenal. I don't know if he's going to mention this in Invincibles. But if he doesn't mention it in Invincibles, which has happened this week, then I think, Curtis, you have to discuss this. So I got a message from Baller League, from Lassie Lehman to say, we want AFTV around N5. Yeah, N5, if you guys don't know in Baller League, because you may not watch it, you may be like what Lee was. Lee was saying, F Baller League ain't for, it's not proper football. Yeah, it's a load of SHIT, not proper, not for us real fan and all that stuff. So N5 invited us down to support Bobby Perez or Robert Perez and Jens Lehmann's team. Right, they've won every game so far. They're top of the league. So first week, which was last week, I brought Robbie and Ty. Ty loved it. Robbie loved it as well, but Ty loved it, Curtis. Like, my man was doing the whole thank you, Cecil, thank you so much. He was gassed to see all the people, even though he sees them all the time, he knows them all. He was super gassed. Big up, Ty. Yeah. This week I brought Lee Judges. He came with me early to Ball League because I had to be there for Ruckus versus Clutch, which is Chloe Kelly's team, right? So I brought him early, just me and him. I told Lee, you're representing N5. I am with Ruckus, Idris Elba's team. That is it. You're gonna come here, you're gonna enjoy yourself, whatever, but when N5 play, you're here. They're the final game. We're the second game. Cool. We get there now. We turn up. As we arrive and go through the certain entrance, Chloe Kelly's arriving with us. All right. So I do the whole, I'm looking at her like, obviously, I know, I'm an Arsenal fan. I watched it. I was at Wembley when we won the Euros when he scored the goal. I was there, yeah. So obviously I'm a fan, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm trying to play humble, cool, because we're also playing your team. Don't want to be too much of a
player. You don't want to be too, yeah.
I mean, you won the Champions League last year. I respect you. I love it. I give a little smile. She smiling. She's laughing. Lee judges straight away. He does the. Do you know what? Lee acts like he doesn't get excited.
Like a little fanboy, isn't he, Lee? He loves it, bro.
He's such a fanboy. He's the biggest of all of us. Remember Kieran Trippier at the hotel in Singapore?
Yeah,
I can go for a load of names, yeah. But Chloe Kelly. So instead of me playing it cool there, just the smile and the nod, he runs over. Oh, Chloe, how are you? And then she's just chatting, and then obviously I walk over now and say hi. Obviously, I'm playing your team. I'm with Ruckus. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I'm with Ruckus. Lee's with me, but he's representing N5. And he was like, he's looking at me like I've said a diss to him. He's trying to play the cool thing. Like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. I said, he's with me. And she's like, oh, so you're ops, blah, blah, ops, blah, blah. I said, no, chill out. And then we sign in, we go through. The game's about to start. They walk through the tunnel. We bump into them, yeah? We bump into Chloe Kelly and Ruckus' team as they're about to walk out. I'm like, I'm not involved. Lee's all trying to be up Chloe, like, oh, don't worry. Like, forget Cecil. I'm like, bro, I brought you here. And then, And then as we're about to walk out on the pitch, right? I go to walk out with my team ruckus, yeah. The security guard goes, and I'm like, okay, I can't walk out. Lee goes, Chloe's walking out, and she goes, Lee, come with me. We'll go pitch. You can come pitch side. They walk onto the pitch. Lee's walking with
And
Chloe.
he walked out with him, didn't he?
Walked out with them. He's on the bench with them. He's in the team talk with them. They beat my team 3-0. And then now she's saying he's a lucky charm. And now every week he's supposed to be a clutch. And now he said, Cecil, you brought me here, but I'm no longer with you. I said, Lee, you are taking the absolute Michael. And then
he's loving it.
He's loving it. And then at the end, we obviously M5 play, they win. And then you see him on the pitch again with him and Ty. On the pitch, he's the mascot, like shaking all the players' hands on the pitch for M5. I said, you can't do this. You can't represent two teams. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, so that was my yesterday. But Ruckus aren't doing too well. But we're not here to talk about that. Forget Ball League. I just had to get that antidote in because we'll be there most weeks. But Lee Judges is the most shameless guy. But Curtis, let's talk. You've been across all the Arsenal news today. You've been across all Arsenal news of the week. The big news is from obviously David Ornstein. He broke the news about Gabriel Magalhães, which I think many fans and actually I suppose and I guess rival fans as well were all waiting to hear is if Gabriel Magalhães, when and if he'll be available back for Arsenal. So I've got the news here. I'm just going to pop it up. Here we go. Right, so just to read everyone, and we're going to discuss this. We're going to break it down. David Ornstein said, Arsenal continuing to assess Gabriel amid concern. So they're still assessing him. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Should have read that before. So they're still assessing him, but could miss 1 to 2 months through injury sustained on international duty. Initial indications suggest that Arsenal Football Club centre-back has set for a spell out, but tests ongoing. Obviously
the thing about that, bro, when because I was reading some of the backstory behind that. So they're saying Brazil have already given him a scan, right? And the initial scan looks like it's going to be 1 to 2 months, but Arsenal are obviously going to conduct their own tests, go into a little bit more detail, and figure out exactly how long he's out for. But this is a big loss, bro. Like.
Ooh. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the fixtures. Yeah, this is...
the fixtures, because I've even got them ready as well. I mean, Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Brentford, Villa, Bruges. That's if it's 4 weeks, by the way. If it's 8 weeks, 2 months, you're going into, beyond Christmas.
Finals of the Cup, Christmas. Yeah, you got quarterfinals against
final. Yeah. Liverpool, I think it said Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool on January 8th, which would be... Yeah, to be fair, if it's 2 months, it would just it would just cross that.
Potentially miss that.
Yeah. Liverpool at home. Yikes.
Listen, I suppose the thing is, like, I think if this injury was in isolation, it's still big. But you think, well, we've signed in Capier, Calafiori can play there, Mosquera can play there. For me, it's the culmination of injury. I know what you're saying. None of them are.
Yeah.
None of them are at his level, but I'm looking at it like the problem is we've got 5 players. Like you've done breaking news about 4 times today, bro. Like Gyökeres set to miss the North London derby. Timber's got a bad cut on his leg; he could miss it. I don't know if you've seen as well. They're saying Havertz has had a setback. Did you see that,
bro? I saw Havertz had a setback. I saw the David Ornstein news, and they were messaging me like, "Cecil, that breaking news." I said, "People, allow me." I said, we got a live later. We'll just put it into this, bro. But I didn't see the Havertz thing. Okay, have you got a small update?
Yeah, I've got it. So Julian Nagelsmann, who's the German manager, he confirmed Kai Havertz has had a minor relapse on his knee injury. He's doing well overall, but is expected to return to playing towards the end of December rather than late November, early December, which was the initial indication. So you could be talking Christmas time for Havertz. I mean, the problem is you're looking at they haven't really revealed details about Victor Gyökeres, which is a big worry because he's been out now for 3 weeks. So we're thinking they just said, hamstring injury, never really told us how bad it was. So we're now thinking you're going into Tottenham, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, and then games beyond that with no Gyökeres depending on when he's going to be back. No Havertz, Jesus not quite ready. Marino is our only striker, and he's not even a striker going into a very busy period. So it's a concern, man. It's a real concern. And then the Gabriel one. I suppose the question that we discuss now is, who is the replacement? Are you going Calafiori centre back, Skelly left back? Are you going in Capier, or are you going Mosquera? What's the angle we're sort of looking at?
Well, let's do that. Let's discuss with the community as well, comments as well. Let us know what you think before we get into that. Are we capable? Are we stay? How are you feeling about it though? How are you feeling if now without Gabriel Magalhães? How are you feeling about those fixtures? Does it make you all feel, people watching and yourself, Curtis, like it does actually put Arsenal at a disadvantage? Is that where you're at, or is it what you said at the beginning? Like you said at the top of the show, you said, "Listen, we've got squad depth, so this is what squad depth's for." I'm not leaning towards that because of I don't know if I like Gabriel Magalhães so much. I think he's so important to Arsenal. He's such a good player in both boxes that listen, even there is quality that there can replace him, but they can't replicate what Gabriel Magalhães does. So for me, that's my feeling. I'm actually quite frustrated and annoyed. People obviously saying season over. They're obviously haters in the chat, and people that don't follow Arsenal, they always saying season over, and this is where it all falls apart. But I am concerned. I'll be honest. People keep asking about Man City and saying, "Are you worried?" I wasn't. Now we're getting key injuries to players like Gabriel Magalhães. He's actually probably, he's one of him and Declan Rice are ones I'm just like, please, you can't
Not
go
those two. Yeah.
So that's how are you feeling around this Gabriel Magalhães news? Has it rattled you a little bit? Has it shook you a little bit, or is it normal procedure? We can still go on and keep winning games.
Do you know what? It's both, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like the last two shows that I've done myself are just all about injuries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yesterday I was like Martinelli and this, and it's Gyökeres and that, and Madueke. It's like the problem is the attack is the attack's been hit as well, but now the defense has been hit, and Gabriel is more than a defender in this team. He's the leader of the back four. He's the talker. He's the one that's scoring set pieces. He's the one getting assists from set pieces. It's kind of it's a big loss. But do you know what? We've got to deal with it at the end of the day. I look at it like we had 6 attacking players out and we still went on a decent run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, listen, I haven't watched Nketiah a lot of times, right? So there'll be people in the chat who've watched Bundesliga more. From what I've seen of him and from what I've heard about him, he's supposed to be a top centre-back.
Agreed.
He captained Ecuador the other day. He's won the title with Bayer Leverkusen. It's a £45 million centre-back.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Nketiah going, that's your time. And some people in the chat might be saying Mosquera, because Mosquera's already played games. He did really well against Liverpool. But I'm kind of looking at Nketiah going, okay, left-sided centre-back, looks very quick, aggressive, played 2 games for Ecuador, played a few games for us. I think it's his time, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. Don't disrupt that back four too much and get him in there. But yeah, I'm frustrated. I've been talking about this for a few days on my channel. I said it yesterday on Forever, and some people in the chat were disappointed. But I think there's a problem at Arsenal with injuries overall. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, we're unlucky," and I don't think it is all bad luck. Some of them, yeah, but there's too many of them for it to be. Is the training? Is it the training ground? Is it the amount of game time they're playing? Something is not right with the amount of injuries, muscular injuries that we're getting.
It's tough, isn't it? I think it's something that needs to be definitely looked into. I think I look at him, and from Arteta, I remember him saying that he's giving players a lot of rest time. He's giving them a lot of days off, a lot of time to recover. So the workload on the players isn't as high. But then I need to get the stats. The information I need is are we getting injuries at Arsenal? So whether it's training and in games for Arsenal, or is it international breaks? It seems like we do get an influx of injuries through international breaks. Like that's what it seems like. I mean, the key ones, you're right, hamstring injuries, I think last season mainly came from our players in the season. But of late, maybe because it's maybe recency bias, but from late, it just seems like it's always international breaks that are really hampering our key players. But yeah, I was also reading, just before I go through who I think should be filling in for the Gabriel Magalhães, AFC stuff, or is Isan Khan. He put This was why when you mentioned about Havertz, this threw me a little bit. It says it's understood. I was reading this tweet and I was thinking, oh my god, this is great news. And I was like, then wait to hear the end. So he goes, it's understood that all 6 players, Kai Havertz, Victor Gyökeres, Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Noni Madueke are likely to be available. This is I was getting gassed and gassed and gassed by early December, and I went
another 2 weeks, bro.
With some important North London derby in there and a bloody buying me like. I was like, I just read that and I got to the end. I was like, oh, I have to read this out because it literally, I went through a range of emotions for that because I was just like, what is happening? You're right. The injuries are a problem, but it's just like, we need these players to return. And I actually thought they'll be back for this North London derby. I thought this was the week when most of these players got injured, especially Martin Odegaard of that, it was this date. They said, yes, we'll have him just in back in time for the North London derby. In regards to the back line, let's discuss this. So you've gone in Capie, yeah? Playing to full straight in, right?
Yeah.
I saw people say Mascara. I don't know about that one either. I think that's more of a Saliba replacement. Not saying that he can't play the left centre back, but I just think in Capie, in my opinion, again, I'm no expert, but he does have the mold of a Gabriel Magalhães. He is the aggressor. He's good in tackles. He will be front-footed. So when it comes to me and front-footed with the press. So for me, Gabriel Magalhães in Capie makes sense. Left back. There was an option I was saying on the breaking news is that about the fourth one that I did in the past couple of days. I said about putting Calafiori left centre back and Mars Lewis Skelly left back. I didn't actually really discuss the whole Nkapie option, which I should have. Calafiori can play left centre back as well. I think we are the thing is, we are stacked. We actually are stacked in that position right now because we have those players. Yeah. It's just like you're just missing a Gabriel Magalhães. That's the only thing. Which is a worry, especially when you're going into such big games. And also when you have a big North London derby game and then you have a Champions League game and then a Chelsea game, like you're going to have to rotate probably throughout those games. You'll probably have to rotate that back line, if I'm being honest. If Nkapie starts against Tottenham, I'm expecting to maybe do something different for Bayern Munich. Or he might put Calafiori in there for the North London derby, put Mars getting left back, and then for the Bayern Munich game, putting Nkapie in there. So I don't know, it'd be interesting. If you were to play, which I'm kind of leaning towards what you're saying, in Nkapie in that left centre back position, who are you keeping Calafiori left back then? Yeah, because remember he is only just returning back from injury as well. They're kind of rushing him back as well. So is that what you'd go with? Would you split if he's not fully fit? Would you start Calafiori?
No, if Calafiori is not fully fit, I wouldn't risk him. I mean, Italy have sent him back because they're saying he can't, the overload of training and stuff. I couldn't believe this because they said Gabriel was training alone with Brazil to manage the load. He's doing too much training, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Then they're saying the same thing with Calafiori. So I'm thinking, bro, we're only in November. Like, we're not even at the halfway mark of the season, and our players are having to, I need to train by myself. I can't deal with all this football.
It's crazy.
Which is crazy. But listen, either way, if Calafiori is not 100%, play Skelly. I'll be honest with you, man. The Bayern Munich game is not as important as the 2 Premier League games for me. Like, listen, no, it's not. It's not, bro. Honestly, it can't be. It can't be.
It's not, but
it's important, but it's not as important. I'm telling you, bro. If we was at full strength, because I get the mindset, right? Bayern was slapping us back in the day, 5-1. So we're thinking...
There's something to the fixture.
There's something to the fixture. We're thinking, turn the tables, go and beat Bayern Munich and show them we've come full circle. But we're depleted right now. And this ain't my excuse for us, by the way, because me, I don't accept defeats easily. But the reality of the situation is get through in that top 8, right? Yeah. Liverpool finished first last year in the Champions League group and got knocked out to PSG. Didn't make no difference. Do you know what I mean? So for me, if Arsenal finish 8-4 for first in that Champions League group, I don't really care as long as they get through. In the Premier League right now, Man City are hunting us down, bro. We can't afford to drop points to Tottenham or to Chelsea. They're the 2 games. Listen, I'm an Arsenal fan, you're an Arsenal fan. I want us to win all 3 games this week. Slap Tottenham, slap Bayern, slap Chelsea. The reality is, with Mikel Merino up front, no Havertz, no Gyökeres, you're asking a lot. You're also then asking Saka to play 3 games in a week. Trossard 3 games in a week, Declan Rice, Zubomendi. Arteta really needs to rotate for that Bayern Munich game. Honestly, he does.
Oh, he's
But
gonna
like,
have to.
he's going to
He's
have to.
gonna have to. And Danny makes a good point here. Big up, Danny. I'm gonna read the super chats in a second as well. Danny says Bayern game is only important for our own confidence. I see someone say Cecil's groveling is annoying, but that's how I feel. It's no killer. I said it's the confidence. It's the confidence thing for me. It's people saying Bayern's the best team in the world right now, and it's like I want to see us match up against that and show that we're up there, and people can really take us serious. Not that they're not taking us serious right now, but I want to in Europe. I want to say, yeah, Bayern are not a problem anymore. It's for our own confidence, but. Is that the bigger picture? Probably not. It's not the bigger picture. Like he says, it's about, and like you said just then, it's about getting into the top 8. But I don't know. I don't like the idea of, and none of us will, Bayern coming to the Emirates and slapping us
and just rolling us.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you on that. Like, we've still got to try and beat them. They're missing players as well. Diaz is out.
Yeah.
They've got 1 or 2 over it, and their defense isn't great anyway. So I still expect us to cause them problems.
100%.
I think Capier's played in the Bundesliga. Yeah, go on. I know you got to read.
Sorry. Stringer Bell. Stringer Bell says next man up. We ain't spend all that money for nothing. Next man up. Obviously, he's referring to Gabriel Magalhães being out. Okay, if he like he says that is like black and white, plain and simple. All right, cool. One's gone.
Next one.
Next one. That's the simplest way to put. Brother, don't think about it too much. You don't need all these bloody breaking news and all these lives and all these hours, brother. 1 out, 1 in. But of course, we've got to discuss it and really break it down to see what we're going to expect and if there's any concerns. Next one, Naval Nation says 2-5-9 says 5 out. League loss. Well done, lads. Nothing news. God, your SHITE. Obviously, he's a rival fan there. Interesting. 5 out. Is that 5 players out? Yeah, 5 players out. League loss. Well done, lads. Nothing new. God, nothing's been won or lost yet, mate, my friend. So you can relax. African Soldier says Madueke is back though. Is that true? Is that true? Has he been training?
I think there was a story, weren't they, saying that he nearly played against Sunderland, so they reckon he should be available. But I think Arteta's trying to keep things quiet, and he probably just wants players to be on the team sheet and on the bench without knowing.
Yeah, he's keeping things very quiet, and it makes sense because, again, right now we're recording people. We're live with you right now. It's time to record. We don't know from a press conference who's available. Even in that press conference, he's going to do he's going to play the mind games.
We've got another training session this afternoon. Oh yeah, there we go.
We haven't been able to assess him yet. He's going to have another test, and we'll see. Yeah, there's that. We're going to get all of that. Trust me. And obviously, Thomas Frank's a very good manager. He'll keep it very, very quiet. Talking about, I was with Basumi yesterday, and I
know you look quite happy with him, to be fair.
But just listen, nice guy, wrong team. Yeah, I'm fair, but he was a nice guy. But I brought up because I brought up Thomas Frank to him off camera, and he didn't seem too forthcoming with Thomas Frank. He didn't seem too.
Well, he got in trouble, didn't he, at the start of the season for turning up late, and Frank was being linked with a move to Turkey somewhere. So maybe them two.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of internal tension that he obviously can't talk about, but I can gauge. I've been in this job for a while. I can kind of gauge energies and how people respond to things. But anyway, that's something to keep an eye out for. Madueke is back though. Saka will have some rest using Capia against Bayern. He has played against isn't then, I suppose.
Bro, by the way, sorry to interrupt you. Right, I know you was on AFC stuff there. Yeah, Nwaneri's just scored a peach for England under 21s.
Are we gonna talk? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna talk about because they're saying loan, and I nearly lost my head because we've been saying this, and then everyone in the chat, you lot, he's young. Don't worry, he's fine. You're just talking for nonsense, clickbait, brother. People, please, we've been.
I don't care how old he is.
Yeah, bro, we don't care about that. We've been in football, it's obvious that he obviously needs first team minutes. And now when they're coming out of that today, I was like, shock horror. If Nwaneri too good enough to be sat on the bench, not getting minutes. We knew this, and now they're considering potentially a loan for him. Absolutely ridiculous. I think I'll be.
Go on AFC stuff now and look at his goal. He just
It's
scored
on
it.
there, yeah.
Yeah, he's just scored it for England under 21s. Guy's a
To,
baller, bro.
He's a joke. He is a joke. Like, listen, I don't know. I'm trying to think what players I've backed before. Oh, here it is. Nwaneri scoring a delicious chip, England under 21s. So he plays into him.
Look at the movement off the ball, the give and go, man. Just
over the top.
Oh, please, man.
It's
a joke, man.
It's sick. Slovenia 4-0 win, and Nwaneri is running behind. Great movement, rotation from the midfield, and he chips over the goalkeeper. He's sick. He's sick, and he deserves to be playing. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. Me and Curtis have been on these lives many a times trying to debate, well, what has he done wrong? Can he be playing? Why is he not playing? Is he not good enough to be playing? Can he be sloppy at times? I'll put my hands up. Sometimes he holds on to the ball a bit too long. But I've seen other players in Arsenal do that and be less effective than Nwaneri. But now the news that broke this morning, which I covered, Nwaneri, obviously they're talking about Jesus to be sold potentially in January, if not definitely next summer. They are also talking about Nwaneri to go on a loan again. I gave my personal opinion. I'm going to let Curtis give his personal opinion on it. But I would be disappointed. I don't know what club I'd be happy seeing him at. Even if it's out of the Premier League, it's just annoying because he's good enough to be playing for Arsenal Football Club. It's Curtis, Nwaneri. After that goal as well, what are you saying?
Yeah, man. Listen, you know where we stand on Ethan, man. He'd be getting more game time for me. Never mind getting loaned out. The problem you've got for me, and I don't know what your thoughts and opinions are on what the chat think. I think Ethan's best spell in the first team has been when he played on the right-hand side, when Saka got injured last season.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed when he plays in that attacking midfield role, he gambles. He does things that try and break the opposition down, but sometimes he loses the ball. And I've seen Arteta's reactions to it sometimes. Like, Arteta is a Spanish coach. They love keeping possession. And I think he's been frustrated with him. I remember that Slavia Prague game, he wasn't at his best, but he did well against Leeds, did well against Forest. I felt like when Madueke was out for 2 months, Ethan should have been used in rotation for Saka. Come on for 20 minutes, give Saka a run out, take him off, and bring Nwaneri on. He obviously doesn't want to use him in that position. In that 10 role, there's too much traffic in front of him, if we're being honest. You've got Eze, 65 million. You've got Odegaard, the captain. So where's his game time coming from? So
you can say that about the right, though, no? Saka, Madueke, because Madueke hasn't exactly been bad on the right either. So it's like when it comes to, like you said, pathway, that's probably why they've said, listen, he might have to go on loan because maybe Arsenal are saying what we're saying. He is too good to not get him many minutes. I just think they could have utilized him a little bit more because Eze hasn't, like I said in the breaking news video, Eze hasn't hit the ground running. He could have played there. They could have put Eze on the left or even off the bench. It's my frustration was they're not even giving him like
20 minutes,
substantial minutes off the bench. Yeah, like that's what's annoying me. Like I don't expect him to start every game. I'm aware like it's tough games coming up, even though we had quite a fair run of games in the last break. This one going forward, I understand if he's not going to be starting games, but you should still be able to give him a good amount of minutes in certain matches, especially with the injuries that keep coming up. So, but you're right. I think the pathway to the number 10 position is a bit tough. It's the same with the right, even though he is strong on the right. Danny's been on fire with the chat today saying, I really like Nwaneri at right wing. If we play him, he has to be 10, not doing the 8 thing. That isn't him. Obviously, that's a lot of the tracking back and picking up the ball from deep, which it does invite pressure and he can get caught. But yeah, when he's on the right, he's high up the field, and I think he's allowed to express more. Like Max Dowman, you can see him do. I
suppose the issue we've got is, I always think if you're not getting game time early in the season, later on in the season, the stakes are higher. You're going to be cup quarterfinals, Champions League, massive league games. I feel like he might even get less time in the second half of the season because, look, Odegaard's been injured 3 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He done his shoulder twice. Now he's done his knee. Madueke's been out for 2 months, and Saka's also been out with a hamstring injury. And Nwaneri hasn't hardly played in terms of starting. So when those guys come back, it's even worse for him. Listen, I looked at it as a negative, him going out on loan, because I think he's good enough to play here. But him sitting on the bench, and hardly playing is probably worse than him going on loan for his development. You think about Jack Wilshere going to Bolton, he had a loan there, came back, played, did well. Smith Rowe went on loan to Huddersfield, came back, did well. You've obviously got ones that haven't worked, like Eddie Nketiah at Leeds and some others, but he feels like he's too good to go on loan, but he's also too good to just sit on the bench and not play, because I feel like we're just stunting his development. So
when was the last time you had this feeling about a player? As in, when was the last time you had a player that potentially could go on loan and you felt, oh no, I don't want him to leave? I'm trying, since you was talking there, I'm trying to think, boy, when is a player
hardly any? I haven't
bro,
mind most of them going on loan. You know what I mean? I looked at Ethan last season and thought he can be a star at Arsenal. He's ready to go. Scored against City. We were talking. Remember that game we were talking about Leicester, and we're going. He's like taking the ball off. Give me the ball. I'll sort this out. You know what I mean?
Bro, I keep bringing up. It's my favorite memory of when we was discussing. Like, man is looking around the change room at Sterling. Like, brother, I'm working my nuts. Like, what are you doing? Then look at Trossard. Like, brother, you're international. What are you doing? Like, bro, it's the funniest, bro. That is my funniest clip. Like, I think it's brilliant.
No,
like, he was that good though. Like you said, he's like, just let me do it, because you lot are. Remember that stream we did, bro? It's so funny.
So funny.
I was just thinking, he must be looking around in the dressing room like, what is going on, bro? You lot are international players, and I have to hold you lot up, like madness. So to go from that to now, he's struggling to get minutes is bewildering. It really, really is. I don't know.
I suppose some people will say it's the development of the team, innit? When you got Eze and Odegaard, and remember when he signed a new deal, a lot of the articles were saying he wants to play attacking midfield. Like, that's the position he wants to play. And he signed that contract before we signed Eze. So I think the discussion was, Odegaard, that's his spot. You're the cover for Odegaard. All of a sudden, Havertz gets injured. We sign Eze. Now you've got Odegaard and Eze in your way. So the situation has changed for him, unfortunately, with us buying Eze, which most of us obviously wanted Eze. So he's found himself down the pecking order, which is a shame for him. And listen, how do you manage him from this point? If you can't give him the game time, my thing is, we're trying to win everything this year. We won't win everything, but we're trying to win everything. I would rather have too many players than leave ourselves short. Like, imagine Ethan goes on loan and then we end up with injuries and we go, oh, we haven't got enough attacking players, but Ethan's on loan somewhere.
That's happened before.
It's happened before. So I'd rather get Ethan, Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Yokra. I'd rather have too many players and say, listen, just for this year, we're going to have a big squad. If people get unhappy, then so be it. But we need silverware. So I'm a little bit compromised. I kind of feel like I wouldn't loan him out. I think you've got to keep all these options around, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was loaned out.
I'm with you. I said this. Like I said in the breaking news, that fact that you're going to need these players, and we've noticed that every time we say, "Oh, we've got too many players," players get injured, so they're going to be involved in some capacity. And for me, Ethan has got enough quality. Arteta just has to sit down every player in the squad and say, "Look, we need you all this season. You will get minutes. At some stage, you will get minutes. It may not be massive minutes, but you'll get minutes. But at least you'll be part of something this season. You'll be part of potentially having a medal around your neck as Premier League champions, Champions League champions, a League Cup champion, or FA Cup champion, or two of them. So we've got to stick in it together instead of going out on loan. Yes, Ethan Nwaneri is young, but if I'm honest, I think he's good enough for England, but he's not going to get into England. He's not going to get into the World Cup squad, and so he can't be saying, "Oh, but this is a World Cup year." I know players don't want to hear that, because I speak to players and they feel like anything can happen in football and they can maybe get that chance and might have a really good run. But if we're being brutally honest, Ethan Nwaneri is not going to be in the first team of England World Cup squad, so he can't have that excuse of, well, I need to be playing this World Cup year. But because you'll be in the England under 21, so just stick to that, stick with us, and hopefully the club convince him to stay and not push him out on a loan. And I don't think that stunts his development either, because You got good players. You're still in with a good team, doing good training sessions, and you should, in my opinion, get minutes anyway. This was the concern me and Curtis had when we spoke about Miles Lewis-Skelly and it being an international year. And Miles Lewis-Skelly has a bit more of a different argument because he can get into that England World Cup side, and he might have a bit more frustration. People were saying was overreacting, it was clickbait, but because he might, if a big club comes in for him, would his head turn? Maybe, maybe not. But the club will also be looking at pure profit. They'll be thinking, do we need to keep Miles Lewis-Skelly? This is further down the line, of course. I'm not talking about January or anything, but these are conversations or thoughts we have to think about. We have to.
Yeah.
They're the worst ones to think about, but this is what happens when you have a good squad or players aren't playing. These are the next conversations that have to be had. Right. Quickly as well, for everyone listening and you, Curtis, question. So you actually, I'm on AFC stuff. You mentioned about Kai Havertz and what Nagelsmann said about the setback to his knee, right? I don't know the answer to this. I don't know whether to believe international doctors for their teams who, in my opinion, do they lie to protect themselves that they got injured with their nation? Probably not. Or do they just say the truth because they haven't got to deal with the player in like a title run? So do I believe the assessment that the international doctors are given, or do I wait for Arsenal's assessment where they're going to come out and say we've assessed him, and are they going to tell the truth? Also, that I don't know. I think I have more faith in the international doctors and their assessments. The reason why I bring this up, because obviously Gabriel Magalhães, his one is 1 to 2 months from the international doctor, or the national doctor. He's going to have more tests with Arsenal. Does that mean they get a more accurate reading, or is it just a confirmation of what we already know, and they might try and bring down the time to make us feel better? That's the only thing. So for you and people listening, who do you believe more? Do you believe the reports from the national doctors, which they're saying, firstly, Kai Havertz is going to had a setback and he went back till the end of the year, which is ridiculous, by the way. Again, we don't know what player we're going to get back in Kai Havertz as well, by the way. Let's not forget that's a knee injury, so he might not be the same Havertz. And then, or do you believe the club doctor, which he hasn't given an assessment on Havertz, but he's doing an assessment on Gabriel Magalhães? Which one would you be looking at?
Yeah, because I would say that as a club doctor, you might put out a different story because you want to throw people off. You say, oh, it's not as bad as we first thought. You hear a lot of that. I feel like an international doctor is just going to be, we've assessed him, it's 1 to 2 months. There's no PR needed around it. So I bet Arsenal are frustrated if that's been leaked from Brazil. Maybe Brazil have thrown that out there to the media that, look, we've done our tests. He's out for 1 to 2 months. Now he's coming back to Arsenal to get a second scan. So maybe they're frustrated with that, because I remember Arsenal with Tomiyasu. Oh, he's out for a few weeks. The next minute, the guy was out for a year. And then a couple of months later, we've paid him off and he's left the club. So I was like, yo, you said a few weeks, Artel. You know, how many weeks?
That's so true. That is so true. We've got a man, then we're trying to pay him out of his contract. That is so, that's so true. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know I probably believe more the international doctors for those reasons. What we've just said. If I'm being honest,
because
they have no loyalties. Because of course it's football, it's their player, but like they have no loyalty to the club. And one thing I do know is the club hate leaks when it comes to injuries. They don't really care about transfers and rumors and all that and who we're signing, but when it comes to injuries, that is one thing that really grinds their gears. So they probably were frustrated with the Brazil, well, not even leaking or saying how long they expect him to be out for, because no one saw that Gabriel Magalhães news coming at all to be that long anyway. You know what I mean?
So it's frustrating, but just listen, this is what you buy players for. This is what your squad's for. Like Rodri's a Ballon d'Or winner. He's barely, been fit for Man City this season. You need other players to step up. 1 to 2 months sounds bad now, but you need a Nkapie or Mosquera to come in and just take to it, and then we need some of our attacking players back.
I was going to say that. I think it puts more pressure on our attack.
It does, because you need to score goals to take pressure off that defense. And I feel like we're trying to defend our way to victory sometimes, where now you've got to go. I look at right now, bro, I'm saying, right, okay, we know what we've got. We're going into the derby. This is a massive game, by the way. Do you know what I mean? You can't, out of those 3 games.
First game back of after the international break as well. It's going to set the tempo.
It's going to set the tempo, and it's like, out of this 3-game period, that's the one that every Arsenal fan's like, I expect that one to be a win. Like even if Gabriel's out here, I expect you to beat Tottenham at home. I'm looking at your Sakas, your Eze's, your Trossards, Declan Rice. These guys now need to take even more responsibility. Like, I think Declan Rice been outstanding, by the way. But I'm looking at players like Saka now and Eze, and people, Saliba even, because if Nketiah is coming in that team next to you, maybe you've got to show a bit more leadership now. You're the one that's used to being in this team. You're the one that knows how this back four works. So I'm looking at other players now and saying, this is your time, man. You know what I mean? You got to step up now and get us to where we need to get to. And then hopefully when these guys come back, we're still in good stead. Liverpool are going to lose Salah for a month to AFCON.
Yeah, AFCON, yeah. Oh, that's very true. I was talking to Yves Basuma about Mali and his nation in AFCON. So yeah, you're right. I forget that's coming up as well. And that, how big of a hit are we get? Oh my god,
we haven't got one player.
Oh my days.
No African players. No.
Oh, bro. Who have City got? Now I need to
City have got Mamouche and Nwaneri. I think they're the only two.
It's not too bad though, but that helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the big man goes down, if Haaland goes down, not wishing it upon him, people, we're humans. Wouldn't do that. But if that did happen, boy, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, especially if Marmouche is away. That is interesting as well. Okay, that's good. AFCON, we're good cover for that. Arsene Wenger with a super chat. Thank you very much for super chat. Says, getting new medical staff is more important than any signing in January transfer. It does need to have a little assessment of what is going on, or is it an all club thing? Are all clubs picking up injuries? I know there is clubs that are heavily hit with injuries, but it does seem like we are getting hit with key injuries, and we're not really. We're Arsenal fans. We're amongst it, so we talk about it quite a bit. But I actually don't hear us complaining. There's a difference between talking about the injuries, which we regularly do, and then complaining about them. So I don't see us saying it's because of injuries why we're dropping points. It's because of injuries.
Yeah.
Well, no one's really doing that because we have the squad, so we're not really using that as an excuses. But we're definitely discussing it, and people are talking about it because it is quite a lot of big injuries.
Bro, can I remind you of something? Right, pre-season tour, Singapore.
Yes.
AC Milan against Arsenal, right? We're standing on our left-hand side of the pitch. And a lot of the times you see these things, but it's like being pitch side, I noticed this.
Little things, yeah.
Martinelli's recovery runs that he was doing in that game when the ball broke down.
Ridiculous.
I said, honestly, I don't know if I've seen a winger in the Premier League having to do that much defensive work. Fair. I couldn't believe it, bro.
Fair.
The moment the ball broke down, he's sprinting back.
Yeah.
Because our left back's inverting, he's having to almost play left back. I said, I've said this before, is our defensive record coming at a cost? I read something that Gyökeres is running nearly 2 kilometers more per game than he was at Sporting Lisbon. He's pulled his hamstring. Saka's torn one hamstring, pulled the other hamstring. Martinelli's done his hamstring. Odegaard's done his knee. Havertz's knee and hamstring. Like, we are the best defensive team in the league, but is it coming at a price that we're making our attacking players work so hard that they're breaking down because of it?
Do you know what? You put a flashback as soon as you mentioned that. As soon as you said was literally pitch side, and you said Gabriel Martinelli. As soon as you said, I knew where he was going because I was watching him like, boy, these lot have to work. It's not even just him. Saka.
Yeah, Saka as well.
They work freaking hard. I wouldn't be, bro. Listen, I love football, but I would not be doing that. Like they are work. The thing is, they're breaking the ball down. They're breaking up play in our half to win the ball back. And it's like, and then because I don't know. I guess it's a position I'm in now as a fan. I'm looking at him like, brother, you need to get back up the pitch.
Yeah.
Bro, if someone was telling me I've just done all that hard work to get back, I ain't making it back for the attack. But that is what we expect of them, which is a lot on the body. It is a lot on the body. I think us, just as fans and watching on, we just expect them because it's elite level football to be able to do that. But that's not easy. That's not normal procedure. Like Salah speaks about it all the time. He thanks Jurgen Klopp. He thanks Slot to allow him to just be able to just do his attacking duties and not worry about defending. Listen, of course, Salah's a luxury player in that sense. But even players that do the tracking back, it's not to the level that I think Arsenal do it. I really don't believe it. I really don't believe it is. Even though at times I think it sometimes can be. I think you can trust in Timber to rely on a man 1v1, even 2v1 at times. You can rely on Calafiori to do the defensive duties, Miles Lewis-Skelly. So maybe it is overworking players, but hey, that's for the club doctors and the scientists to sort out. Bajan Salim Pochter says, come on, you Gunners. And then we got another one here from Mikus says, we need Dr. Phil. I'm at my wit's end with this club. It is becoming frustrating. It is. Injuries are a frustrating thing. I can't lie. It's something that is, like I said, becoming an issue. It has been an issue through the whole season. I just don't want to make it the front facing news of the Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
I'm honest, because we bought a squad for this sort of reason. So that's the reason why I'm not going to make it the main news. Now we are coming towards about 15 minutes until we close off for the hour. People are asking you, Curtis, are you doing a watch long stream to the Jamaica game?
I'm not sure. I'll either do one or I might come on the DR one. We'll see what's going on. I'll be watching it anyway, so
yeah, if you're there, you might as well
do something.
Put on a camera. I'll send you a link anyway if need be. Right, next bit of news. Same from the Mail again, the Daily Mail. Now again, I mentioned this on the breaking news I did today. It's up to you if you find it reliable, or if you would have, or like this is what was breaking in the media world. So I have to report on it, and we're going to discuss it. Thank you, Terrell Gunner TV. I see you. Big up.
Big up.
If a significant offer arrives for Gabriel Martinelli, particularly from Saudi Arabia, where there's been interest in the past, Arsenal would listen. Martinelli has slipped down the pecking order following the arrival of Noni Madueke and the form of Leandro Trossard. And after spending big last summer, the Gunners are conscious of the need to recoup money from selling a first-team player. Now, this one, someone said it's cap. For me, someone said it's rubbish. I'm got to be careful. I'll walk.
You've got to be careful because the shirt's on your wall.
I'm glad Curtis said it. And do you know what? I can actually probably fact check this pretty quickly. I should have done this before. Forgive me, people. I'll speak to some people and see if this is truth. But last time news like this came about Gabriel Martinelli, I got told it's all waffle. There's no strength, or there's no push behind this at all. It's just the media wanting clicks and trying to push a false narrative. So when it comes to Gabriel Martinelli, and at the time I think they were saying same thing as around like Saudi offers coming in. It was actually around that time when they mentioned in that article there. They were saying he's not going anywhere. He is not going anywhere. He loves Arsenal. Unless something major happens or there's a major falling out, he's not leaving Arsenal. So from the information I have and where I stand, I don't buy into it too much. A lot of it is it's story building. They've put two and two together and made a story from it. Which from what I take, this might be true by the way, but I'm just from what I know and from what I take from it, it's just like they've said, okay, Gabriel Martinelli's not starting as much. Trossard's on great form. They threw in a Noni Madueke. There was a bit of a curveball because he plays on the other side, but I suppose it's another winger. But even still, the addition of him didn't affect Gabriel Martinelli at all. His form's been really good. But yeah, of course, Saudi coming in, the club may consider it, but I think we kind of hit the nail on the head in this live, Curtis, when you said like we need a big squad. I think the next steps for Arsenal is Arteta getting the team together and saying, look, we're gonna have to really, really lock in. There's gonna be a lot of injuries, there's gonna be a lot of fixtures. I could try and do this as quick as I can whilst I'm live, but if I ran through Arsenal's fixtures in December, it's a joke. So when it comes to like game time, there's going to be games. Okay, Arsenal Brentford on the 3rd of December. Then the 6th of December, it's 3 days later, Aston Villa. Then the 10th of December, 4 days later, Club Brugge away. Then the 13th of December, Wolves. 20th of December, Everton. 23rd of December is the EFL Cup against Crystal Palace. 27th of December is Brighton at home. And then the 30th of December is Aston Villa. The 3rd of December is Bournemouth away. Like, if you count December fixtures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 fixtures.
In December alone.
It's just two. It's 2 a week. Like, which is okay. Someone says no, but that's a lot of games. So you're gonna have to all settle in, all lock in, and just understand that you'll get minutes, and we're in it for the long run. Even Martinelli, I think. I don't know. I think he might. He doesn't. I don't know. I'm not with him every day, but he will feel it when he's out of the team. But he's not someone who's going to throw his toys at the pram, sulk, go out and party and rebel against the club. He's not one of those players. He's just. I know him as quite an intrinsic, quiet player. So, yeah.
I don't see I don't see any truth in this. I think the story came out before, and they were sort of saying he's got no interest in going to Saudi. He's young, man. He's trying to get in that Brazil team, and he was actually having a good little run before he got injured. He scored a few goals, scored the Man City goal. I think, did he score in Bilbao? I think as well. You know, he scored a few goals, and then obviously got the injury. And Trossard's done well since coming in. So I don't see any truth in that. What I do think will happen, I'm not saying with Martinelli, but I think in the summer Arsenal will have to sell some of the more established players that maybe aren't in the first team, because our wage bill is very high at the moment. I look at players like Jesus, you know, Havertz. There was a story today saying even Ben White. I don't know how true that is, but saying that, you know, he's getting a little bit frustrated, and Arsenal are going to have to sort of bring the wage bill down a little bit. So I reckon one or two established players will be moved on in the summer. But in terms of Martinelli, no. I suppose the question we've got down the line is a lot of Arsenal fans think we need a new left winger, me included. I would love to see a big upgrade on that left-hand side. Can you keep Trossard and Martinelli and throw a new left winger in there? That might be too much.
That's tough, isn't it? That's tough.
Yeah, it's a lot of wages.
But who is that left wing? Like I saw David. Yeah, no, it's David Ornstein talk about Semenyo. Can also play on both wings, but would an Arsenal, he's available in January, potentially 65 million, a lot of money. But Semenyo is that left side, Curtis. That's what they're saying as well. Obviously, I know you like Rafael Leao, and I'll be honest, that one game we had us on pre-season, had us going mad. We were dancing on the sidelines. We're not even arguing.
You know what it is? We're starved of skill in football nowadays. So when you see a bit of it, like, I can't believe, you know what I mean? You start going mad. But yeah, man, Semenyo's available. Whether is the release clause in January, 65 million. Leao, Rodrigo are the two that I like, but whether we could get any of them and how much they would cost. But I think to bring one of them in.
Do you not think that they should wait, Arsenal? Not obviously January. They're gonna have. I don't think they'll actually do any business in January again.
No, I don't.
I just knowing this club, they're just not going to do it. But like, I'm still. I shouldn't say I'm still concerned. Big fan of Gyökeres, but I need to see that this period now. I've said this every period. We said. I wonder how many goals.
You said he needs 3 goals in the next 4 games, and then I think he only got 1 goal or something. You know what I mean?
I was gonna remind me. How many did he get in this instant? People in the comments, you'll let me know. Curtis, you might know. How many did Gyökeres get from the last international break to now? Then, how many did he? Because we said
not many, bro. Not many. He got the 3. Burnley goal and probably the 2 against Atletico, I think.
Yeah, but I said in the league. I said 3.
You said in the league, so he only got 1 in the league, I think. But he did get injured. But
that's true. But yeah, no, that's true. That is true. But again, when is he going to be back then? So he'll probably be back He'll probably be back in back into this month or maybe start of December. That run to January, he has to get more goals on the board. He has to.
The only thing I was saying is defense, though, bro. Is I mean, you went up to Sunderland, right?
Yeah, tough game.
I mean, I think that showed how important he is, even if he's not scoring. Because, like, look, Marino's not a striker, but we needed Gyökeres for that game. I mean, Dan Ballard was looking like Vidic against Marino, bro, just beating him up. You know what I mean? He scored a goal, cleared one off the line, was being mad aggressive. So I think Gyökeres is one of those players that I bet Saka and Martinelli and Trossard, they all appreciate what he's doing, because I think the reason everybody's wrestling him all the time is because they know he's a big threat. So then Saka's getting 1v1 at times, and where I think when he's not in the team, I think they're thinking, yeah, we'll go 1v1 with Marino. We'll go 1v1 with Havertz and double up on Saka. So I agree with you. Gyökeres has got to score more goals. That's what we brought him for. But I think he offers a lot to this team outside of just scoring goals. I think he occupies centre-backs. He creates carnage. He gives the wingers more space. But I agree there. What they're saying, they've got to give the ball to him more. Learn to feed him. You know, a lot of the time the wingers don't give it to him. They don't pass to him. But how long's he out for? Yeah, that's the next question.
That's the real next question. All right, we are 5 minutes away from the end, and before we do that, I need to ask you: is there someone that we need in January, Curtis? Will you be saying to Arsenal, you need to make a sign? And let me break it down for you a little bit, because someone just put, we don't need anyone, to be fair, in January. And on top of that, everyone's going to want to. If I was a player, you're going to want to go to Arsenal in that January window. You're going to think, I could be part of a trophy winning team in some capacity. Listen, nothing's guaranteed. I'm not saying we're guaranteed to win a trophy, but you look at Arsenal, you look at the squad, and you say, if I can get out of my club and get in a loan deal or sign to Arsenal in this January window, I can then potentially be part of a winning team, and that's what you want. World Cup year as well. You want to be part of that. So I think Arsenal's a very attractive club in January, which will lean towards Andre Alberta's strategy. But who and what or where, what position, what should Arsenal be? Should Arsenal be looking at position? Should Arsenal be looking at getting rid of players, or should be looking at bringing in players in that January window? Because this just sprung to my mind. I'm trying to think, where do we need to improve, if anywhere?
So I did a show looking at Arsenal's squad in an ideal world, which, we don't live in an ideal world, but I think there's still 3 positions in the Arsenal team that I would like to see a new player. Number 1 for me is centre midfield. I don't like the cover for Zubimendi and Rice. I think if Rice got injured long term, we would be absolutely cooked, worse than Gabriel. At least we've got big cover for Gabriel. Declan Rice injury would write us off, right? I'm not convinced by Norgard, and I'm not convinced by Marino in midfield. Left wing, I think we need a starting left winger long term. So if they had the money, then that would be great. The last one for me, it's not realistic because we've got too many players there. I would actually take another striker. I'll be honest with you. But that would probably mean in the summer, can you get rid of Jesus?
You have to.
Do you move Havertz on big wages, 2 big injuries? I'd like to see Gyökeres and another striker, somebody different.
Yeah.
But I think we've got to get creative. I don't think Arsenal have got the money in January to go and spend 65 on Semenyo or Leao or something. I think Berta's got to get creative and think, can I get a player on loan with an obligation or something? Is there a big club that's got a little bit of financial issue and you can get a good player out? You look at Paulinho, who went to Tottenham. I think that was a good signing. Douglas Luiz went to Forest. Another good player that, so those are the 3 positions. I would like to see one player come in, but I just don't think it's going to be anybody that costs like 60 million, or I think it would have to be a loan.
Truthfully, I mean, it would disrupt the Arsenal team. It would disrupt it wouldn't just. Well, I think Semenyo's got a really good attitude. It wouldn't disrupt them in that capacity, but like it'd be a lot of bodies in that position. But for me, Semenyo would. I want to see Arsenal act like the big club they are. If I'm being real, I want to see them flex their muscles. When I say that, I just can't believe in that summer window, Liverpool went, Newcastle, give us Isak. And if you don't give us Isak, you want Ekitike, we'll take them both. I have never seen that I've never seen that sort of bullish nature from a club. And I just thought, listen, it hasn't worked out. So listen, it may not be the solution, but I would love Arsenal to be like, if Semenyo starts getting linked to teams like City and Liverpool, I would love us to just be like, all right, cool. We're coming for you now. Come and join us. And I think Semenyo, I think he's an Arsenal. I don't know. I think
he is an Arsenal fan.
Because I saw that interview with Miles, and he said like something about the Emirates. He said, it's my favorite place to come. And he said, but not for reasons that they must have discussed off camera or before. So, which is probably alluding to he is an Arsenal fan. So, yes, I would like to see if Semenyo is linked. I don't mind him staying at Bournemouth. So if he stays there and he's not linked to leave and go to a club that's going to challenge us in the title race, let him stay there. Cool, whatever. January, we're not going to listen. January, we're not going to make that big of a sign anyway. But if he was linked to a City or a Liverpool, not that Liverpool are really a threat, but if he is linked to someone like that right now, that is, I would like to see Arsenal say, nah.
Can I just ask you quickly, and the chat as well? Let us know on this, right? How good do you think Semenyo is? Like, do you look at him and think like, yeah, bring him to Arsenal, 65 million, or are you? Because I'm still a little bit on the fence with that signing. Like, I rate him as a player, but I just have a little bit of a couple players have left Bournemouth and not looked great at other clubs like Kirkes, that Howson at Madrid. has
Dominic
been
Solanke.
poor. He is a good player, but I don't know if he's 65 million. Would he solve our left wing problems? What do you reckon?
Okay, I like to go off. Obviously, one, my eye test what I watch, and two, you know me, I get luckily get anecdotes from players. Obviously, I have a friend at Bournemouth, and he said what he says about him. He said he's a joke. He's just a joke. Like, he scored big goals against big teams, like Liverpool, scored great goals against them, so he can do it against the best teams. Like I said, James Hill spoke to me about him in training. Like, no one can get near him. He's both feet. He's so comfortable. He's so class on both feet. You never know which way he's going to go. No one's to defend against him. That's enough for me to say, okay, you're up there. You can run with him. And just the profile of him: strong, physical, quick, good feet. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rafael has the same sort of build. I think Rafael's a bit more, fluid when it comes to tricks and style and whatnot. But does Rafael have that mentality to get back and do the hard work, do the hard graft? Semenyo's still a player that's wanting. You can see it. He wants to improve. He still wants to keep pushing and go to the next level. So, not to say Rafael's not going to be like that, but I just feel like Semenyo is. I think he'll be a great profile for Arsenal. You may not be sold, but I feel like he might be one that could make the transition from Bournemouth and do really well. Like you said, there has been some bad ones. Dominic Solanke was one. Hoyson hasn't been firing at the back as well for Real Madrid. So there is a few non-starters there, but I think Semenyo's the real deal. I think, he reminds me a little bit of Kudus. Like, Kudus is, and he's been. I think he's been good, not really good. He's been good at Tottenham as well. Like, he is a player that was at West Ham that needs to take the step up. He had the ability to do that. Listen, he's not flying, but he is doing well there. I think if Semenyo went to the right club, he would be flying, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see in the next couple of games and how he turns out. Nino Londes, before we finish, says, where do you watch the Spurs game? Pub recommendations. Man's not really a pub man, if I'm being real. Don't really drink, and also pubs get a bit dark for me. So local area. So normally watch parties for me and watch alongs or the stadium. But if you want pubs in the local area, the Tollington's always a favourite for Arsenal fans. Probably one of the best ones to go to. That's probably the best recommendation I can actually give, if I'm honest. So the Tollington, which is near the Emirates Stadium, if you can get there. All right, we'll come to the end. We'll close. Curtis, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Big up, bro.
We went a little bit early today, so apologies to the people that joined us at 7. But the main breaking news was Gabriel's out for between 1 and 2 months. That was broken by the Brazil national team doctor. So obviously we're waiting for Arsenal to continue assessing him and giving us a different assessment on what time we're likely to get him back. But that could be waffle or that could be truth. I've decided on this live that I'm going to go with what the international doctor said, 1 to 2 months. If you look at those games, bit of an issue. A lot of games coming up, big games coming up in that period between just the first month, let alone 2 months. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much. Big up the chat. Big up everyone that's joined us. And thank you for the lovely comments. Thank you to the people that got involved. Curtis, it's been a pleasure as always. I might see you tonight, but let's hope Jamaica do qualify for the World Cup. We could have a very, very good week. If 1, Jamaica qualify, and 2, if Arsenal win in the North London derby. What a week this could turn out to be. Let's hope for that and not the other way around. Take care, everyone. Love.